Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to this week's Polygon Treehouse blog. Last week, someone had the bright idea of doing video tours of our workspaces so you could see how we work. That was Tom, so you have him to thank for this. Thanks, Tom. This week, it's my turn, so let's go and have a look. I'm sure it'll be fascinating. Okay, welcome to the magical world of my study/spare room. This is where I work, and it's quite handy if I overexert myself creatively. I can just pop over here for a siesta, but obviously just don't tell Tom about that. And here's my old battered Cintiq. It's one of the original ones. It's a little bit battle damaged, but it's still doing the job, even though it's a little bit long in the tooth. I used to stack monitors. I have a second one stacked vertically, but actually found that I just preferred the elbow room in the end. And here, something quite interesting. So, a few years ago, I checked to see if there's any alternatives to the monotonous grey keyboards, and found this really awesome one, which is actually made of bamboo, and it's just really nice and tactile. And in a creative space, it's just nice to get away from boring grey plastic. So that's something I picked up. It's worked out really, really well. It's my stereo, and here's a load of soundtrack CDs. So I'll listen to music and stream music as I'm working. I think it's it's an integral part of how I like to work to get me in the creative mindset. But the kind of condition is I won't listen to anything with lyrics, so no songs. It's all soundtrack stuff. So lots of films, lots of games, and I'll tend to mix this around and rotate it depending on what I'm working. But listening to kind of film music is a really nice way to get in the creative mindset for whatever it is that you're working on. You can tailor that choice to what it is you're working on. And that noise was a message from Tom. Brilliant, just ruined the entire thing. But we'll soldier on. Here you can see a load of Tintin toys. Now these I actually got from my time out in Amsterdam. I'm a big fan of Tintin and Hergé. When I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to read violent American comics, bloodthirsty comics. So I grew up on a diet of Asterix and Tintin, as well as the usual food and water. And when I was out in Amsterdam, I was working as a character artist on Killzone 2. I had the weekends free to explore the city, so I'd made a map of all the cool independent comic stores in Amsterdam, of which fortunately there's loads. It's really awesome for independent comic shops. And then I'd go around exploring, and I'd pick up one of these at each store I stopped at over the weeks that I was there, and loads of really awesome hardback European comics that you don't get in the UK. So that was really great. And I think Hergé and Tintin, it's a very clean graphical art style. There's probably some influence there on the clean graphical art style of Roku, which seems to have gone down very well. Fortunately, yes. And then art prints. So it's nice to surround yourself with inspiring art when you're creating. And this one's pretty neat. It's from the film Ex Machina and a company called Territory. So they worked with us on Killzone Mercenary and on Rigs, and they sent through some of these awesome schematic prints. It's a schematic print of the robot lady from the film, and fortunately I was allowed to take one home and frame it and get it on the wall. It's pretty neat. And then here we have something that's quite unusual. So this is something I got from the studio before it closed. It's cardboard marketing standee for the original Medieval game. So this is pretty old. It's from, let's say, 1998, but it's just a nice fun object to have around. And the Medieval games I didn't work on them. I worked on Medieval Resurrection, the PSP one, but they were a big part of the studio DNA when I arrived. Which leads us on to this art print, this really colourful, vibrant one. And actually there's a relation between the two. So this is from Jay Gunn, also known as Jason Wilson, who was the art lead when I started at the studio, and he was partly responsible for hiring me, and worked under him for a number of years. And he, especially it was quite a few years ago now, but he changed jobs to become a comic creator. And this is an image from his debut comic, Surface Tension. And Jason was also the art lead on the medieval games. The Surface Tension is really cool. Got a copy of it in my bookshelf. So here we are. If you're after anything that's new and interesting and unique, very vibrant colours, it's about what it's about. It's about the environment, the planet, humanity. It's got awesome monsters, great characters. If you're after something new and interesting to read, definitely recommend giving it a go. And then getting on to the rest of my books, it's a real mix. And I tend to rotate these in and out as well, depending on what I'm working on. We've got some Scandinavian folklore stuff, anatomy, animation reference, and Killzone. Obviously, we've both got very fond memories of working with the Guerrilla Studio. Awesome group of people, very talented. And here's a Miyazaki book. And Miyazaki is the famous director from Studio Ghibli. And here's my little treasure trove of inspiring objects. And these are all from the Ghibli Museum in Japan. And I've never been there myself, but I've been fortunate that I've had quite a lot of friends who have been, and they've been very generous with their suitcase space and happy to bring me back a few bits and bobs, which has been pretty cool. Because Mononoke is pretty much the best film of all time, so it's been nice. And here we've just got a selection of completion plaques, my trophy wall from a few of the games that I've worked on. And that's about it. And this is something I've been working on recently that will be showing a bit more of at the weekend, so not too much of that for now. Hello, me again. Congratulations, you made it to the end. Fortunately, there's no prize, but thanks for watching. Hopefully, you found it interesting. And we'll be back next week with another Polygon Treehouse blog. Have a great weekend.